So, good morning. Good morning. I hope everyone's well on this Friday morning. Big up wifey, by the way. The only shirt I didn't have, I now have. So big up the real one. But anyway, listen. More important matters. F the shirt. More important matters. As you can see, I'm on the Premier League website, and Premier League, FA, EFL. Oh my God, what am I doing? And the Women's League unite to postpone fixtures now. This is massive news, massive news. It's the first time this has ever happened in terms of a postponement of the league and stuff like that. EFL, they've suspended everything. Everything's suspended. I'm going to read through it rather than waffling. So bear with me. Let me go through this. If I can click on it. It's actually going to load. There we go. So this is a statement that's been released on the Premier League website. Following a meeting of shareholders today, it was unanimously decided to suspend the Premier League with the intention of returning on April the 4th, subject to medical advice and conditions at the time. Premier League Chief Executive Richard Masters said, above all, we wish Mikel Arteta and Callum Hudson-Odoi speedy recoveries and everyone affected with the virus as well. It is an unprecedented situation. We are working closely with the clubs, the government, the FA, the EFL, and can reassure everyone that the health and welfare of players, staff and supporters is our priority. Despite the challenges, it's the Premier League's aim to reschedule displaced fixtures, including those played by academy sides, to when it's safe to do so. In this fast-moving environment, further updates will be provided appropriately, when appropriate. So yeah. Everything's suspended. So I've also heard as well, which it doesn't say on there. Thank you to everyone watching this live as well. Do share this post. Do share it. Let's get this post out there, because I think I'm the only one streaming live about it right now. So so yeah, get as many people here as possible. Share it. Hit the likes. Share it on Facebook. Chig is coming. I think he's just left the meeting, so he is going to be joining us. But I have heard as well that this means that the England games against, I think it's Denmark and England, are not going to go ahead as well. And because obviously there was an international break coming up after the FA Cup games, which was next weekend, the FA Cup. Then obviously the international break was kicking in. So we're not going to be able to go ahead with the England games, which means they need to be rescheduled. What are you going to upload now? Well, I've been uploading for over a year, three times a day, twice a day, every day, mate. There's plenty of stuff to talk about. So yeah, I'll have no worries whatsoever doing 2 streams a day, mate. No dramas. But yeah, this is crazy. This is absolutely mad. I mean, obviously it broke last night that Mikel Arteta had been tested positive for it. It then broke as well later last night that Callum Hudson-Odoi had got it. Now, I've seen his Twitter. He put a video out on his Twitter account saying, look, guys, I'm fine. I had a bit of a problem. I felt a little bit poorly. I've contracted this. I've got to self-isolate. I'm fine. And he actually looked all right, to be fair to him. So he didn't obviously go on for too long. It was only a 12-second clip. And yeah, he seemed like he was all right. Mikel Arteta put out a little statement saying, look, I want to just get back into work. This is my job. I just want to go back to work as quick as I'm allowed to go back to work. So the 2 people that we know that have got it, obviously there is other players that have got it as well, but the 2 players that we know that are in the Premier League that have got it, manager or player, Mikel Arteta, he's come out and said he just wants to get back to work. He was well enough to do that. He was well enough to put that statement out there. Callum Hudson-Odoi was well enough to put out a 12-second clip on his Twitter account saying, look, I'm fine. I've just got to self-isolate. I felt a bit under the weather, but I feel all right now, blah, blah, blah. So fingers crossed for both of them that they're both all right. They seem all right. Other players, Everton are self-isolating now, the whole squad. Arsenal's whole squad is self-isolating. Other teams are doing it as well. Real Madrid, obviously, across in Europe. Other players have got it. Rugani, apparently Dybala. There's a few others that have got it as well. But it's gone from 0 to 100 real quick, this Premier League one, because, you know, they weren't looking at banning any of it, They weren't looking at postponing any of the games this weekend. They were looking at business as normal. We're going ahead as normal. Then Arteta's news broke last night, and it was a case of, right, okay, let's get an emergency meeting set up real quick, because now Arteta's got it, which means Arsenal have got it. I see that the Peterborough managers put out saying that, sorry, the Peterborough chairman's put out saying that his manager doesn't want to go to Bolton this weekend, and he backs him. Let's not forget, Peterborough played Portsmouth the other day. Portsmouth played Arsenal. So I can understand why they're now thinking, oh my God, apparently none of them have tested positive for it. But there's more and more that are going to come up. Obviously, there's going to be more. And the thing is, you know, we don't know how bad it is in terms of the players. Like I said, the only two that I can go off are the ones that have actually come out and seem fine are Arteta and Callum Hudson-Odoi. But it is a bit of a mad one that it's just gone, wow, okay, cool, we'll have an emergency meeting, everything's suspended. But saying that, we are the last of the big leagues to suspend football this weekend. So I think that, you know, the health and safety of people is obviously paramount. I get that. And regardless of my views on it, yeah, I understand why they're doing it. Yeah, I understand why they're postponing it. I understand why other leagues have postponed it. Obviously, I said my thoughts on it yesterday. I'm not going to repeat that again today. But at the same time, you know, when there's 60,000, 80,000, 70,000 people in a football stadium, yeah, obviously you've got to have the health and welfare of them people above anyone, and obviously the players and all the staff that are working on the stadium that day and stuff like that. And when there's 70, 80,000 people in one stadium, 50, 60, whatever it, 1,000 people, excuse me, don't worry, I'm fine, I'm good. You've obviously got to have their best interests. You got to look after them. I get it. I understand it. And listen, at the end of the day, it's a game of football. We can reschedule the games, can't we? Thank you to everybody who's watching this live. 230 of you watching it. Don't forget, smash the like button. I think I am the only one streaming right now. And she should be joining me. I don't know where he is, but I've sent him a link. He was in a meeting. So he said that he'd come out of the meeting. He said that he was going to jump on. So yeah, that's kind of cool. But what do you guys think? Like, obviously, we all knew it was coming. For anyone who's joined late, I'm going to read the statement out again on the Premier League website. Premier League, FA, EFL and WSL unite to postpone fixtures. Obviously, today's date. This is literally breaking in the last half hour, 20 minutes. So we're first on the button again, of course, because that's how we roll on this channel right now, ahead of the curve. Following a meeting of shareholders today, it was unanimously decided to suspend the Premier League with the intention of returning on the 4th of April. Let me just clarify what that means here. That is subject to advice and conditions at the time from medical staff, right? This doesn't mean that on the 4th of April, bang, we're back in action. That means that we see what happens on the 4th of April. Everyone gets together and goes, right, okay, cool. All the medical staff and everything, the government, everyone gets involved, and then they go, okay, cool. But I'll tell you something now, there is going to be massive, in fact, I'll come back to it, massive financial implications to this. But I'll come back to that in a second. Following a meeting of shareholders today, obviously we've gone through that. The Premier League Chief Executive Richard Masters said, above all, we wish Mikel Arteta and Callum Hudson-Odoi a speedy recovery, and anyone else who's affected by it. This is in this unprecedented situation. We're working closely with our clubs, government, the FA, EFL, and can reassure everyone the health and welfare of the players, staff, and supporters are our priority. Despite the challenges, it's the Premier League's aim to reschedule displaced fixtures, including those played by academy sides when it is safe to do so. In this fast-moving environment, further updates will be provided when appropriate. So obviously, as you can see, yeah, it's pretty much done and dusted that this season, it could, listen, let's be real here. This season could effectively be done. If it is done, there's so many questions to be asked. If it is done and on the 4th of April, they decide, no, it's not the right time to restart the league, then what happens to Liverpool? Yeah, I'm sure Arsenal fans will have the party poppers out because that's how Arsenal fans roll. Like I said, our biggest wins this season have been other teams' losses. So I'm sure everyone's loving life that Liverpool might not win a title. But genuine question, if they did suspend the league for the rest of the season and it was a complete write-off, what happens? What teams get relegated? Do teams come up? Do Liverpool win the league? What teams qualify for Champions League? What teams qualify for Europa League? What about the FA Cup? What about the Champions League? What about the Europa League? You know, Man United won 5-0 last night. The Europa League and Champions League games are suspended next week. So, you know, what happens there? You know, not only that, the amount of money that's going to be lost in revenue for not only the Premier League teams, but all the small businesses, you know, for example, like a massive chain like McDonald's will still survive. The local guy who flips burgers outside the Emirates on a match day, is he likely to survive? Is that his only income? Is that the only way he earns money on a match day? Does he earn money the rest of the week? Does he flip burgers the rest of the week? Does he sell half and half scarves? They should be banned anyway. But there is massive financial implications to this. And there's going to be, obviously, Sky, BT Sport, things like that. They've got investment in the Premier League and all these other games. What goes on there? Is there going to be a big lawsuit? Can they even do that? I don't know. And I mean, I'm quite sure they didn't take this decision lightly to cancel it. And like I said, at the end of the day, regardless of my thoughts on it, if people are dying from it, you've got to protect the people going to football matches and the players as well and all the staff. So listen, they can deal with all the nitty gritty and stuff like that. But yeah, this is massive. This is huge. And like I said, the England games are going to be postponed as well. Denmark and Italy games. So then what does that mean for if we do come back in April? Obviously, there's a backlog of games. You've then got to try and rejig that. You've then got to hope this has died down by then. Personally, I don't think it's going to come back in April. I think they'll be done. I think it'll be done. And then they've got to try and go through how they sort out who gets promoted and relegated. Listen, if you end the league right now, yeah, Liverpool win the title. Can you end the league right now? That's not fair on the teams that are at the bottom of the table chasing European spots. You know, it's totally unfair to just relegate the three at the bottom. So how does that work? How do the teams coming up in all the divisions or going down in the divisions work? I don't know. All I do know is that's a nice cup of coffee. Anyway, let's read some of your comments out. Why is football cancelled and not schools or colleges? I don't know. That's a good question. Some schools are cancelled. Some are shut for 6 weeks, mate. The Euros will be in 2021. Possibly. Yeah, that's possible. Absolute right decision. Afternoon to everybody watching the world. It's still morning. See, I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. Do you know that? The earliest I've ever got up in my life. I normally go to bed at 6 o'clock in the morning. Afternoon after or morning Afsar. Millions of people are dying of hunger and lack of food. So where is everyone? Right, listen, bruv, don't even get me started, mate. I went on one yesterday, and listen, I understand they've got the safety and health, and they've got to look after people's health. And listen, that comes before anything. I understand why they've cancelled the league. All the sporting events that are cancelled, I get it. But yeah, I do also get what you just said. Welcome to the UK. Well, hopefully I can go back to Spain next week. It would be nice because the weather out there is not very nice. But do drive the likes up. That would be great. Let's see if there's any other updates. Let's see if there's anything else that's come out from that. Let's see if there's anything else. No, it's just that for now. It is literally just that statement they've put out there at the moment. So yeah, that's all that's out there. But yeah, it is pretty mental. It's crazy. I mean, like I said, we're the last league to do it. Afternoon. I keep saying afternoon. Morning, Jez. Just give Liverpool the trophy. They won it anyway. Well, yeah, they have pissed it in there. Let's be real. Why did you come back to the UK? I bet you wish you stayed in Spain. Not really, mate. I'm getting on with my life. I'm doing what I was going to do anyway. So yeah, no dramas here, mate. I'm just doing what I was doing. So it is what it is, isn't it? Can you imagine if Liverpool don't get the title because of this? I couldn't care less whether they get it or not, mate, if I'm honest. The Olympics are going ahead in Tokyo. Morning, South London's finest. Liverpool would drag the league through the courts if they did that, says Matt. Yeah, this is the thing. This is what people are not seeing. It's like, you know, whilst this is going all over the globe, and it's like, I mean, Sky Sports, the background has got it in the background. It's like every time Sky Sports is on, you see that in the background. You know, they keep interviewing this guy who I don't even know who he is. Jesus Christ, that's Paul McGinley. Blimey, he is looking rough. What's happened to him? Is that Paul McGinley? Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Who knew? I didn't. I watch golf. Or used to. Lee with his wifey and not the teeny one. Yeah, she's at work, man. She's at work. But yeah, listen, this is what I was going to say. The amount of sporting events that are being shut down, the amount of, I mean, Cheltenham's still going ahead. Fair play to them, yeah. But the amount of sporting events that are being closed down, the amount of shops that are going to go out of business, the amount of shops that are selling out of bog roll just like that, and pasta and tin food and stuff. I mean, it's going absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. And yeah, it's pretty mad. It's pretty mad. I think in the UK, I think there's been 10 deaths from it. I think they're all over the age of 50 odd, 53. All had underlying health issues, including diabetes, cancer, stuff like that. So when you look at the numbers like that, it's tiny. But at the same time, you know, every other league is suspended. I think the Scottish League is suspending as of Monday. So they're going to play this weekend's games. Maybe we should do some watch-alongs for the Scottish League. Who knows? Asda's gone mental. Bro, I ain't even gone out. I ain't even gone to the shop yet. 10 times more lethal than flu with no vaccine. I actually see a stat earlier that 237 children have passed away this flu season, which is a record in the UK. 237. I've not seen any of that anywhere on the news. I see it when I Googled it. I Googled something about flu. This virus is level with the plague. Are you mad? Genuinely, bruv, are you crazy? You're off your head. Bruv, go and have a look how many people the plague wiped out, mate. Yeah, obviously it's not nice that this virus is going around, but come on, bruv, it's nowhere near that level. It's not even near the level of swine flu, mate. But yeah, it is cancelling everything. Children are immune to corona. I don't think anyone's immune to it, mate. Nobody really knows who's immune to it or what. Listen, we don't really know a great deal about it, do we, to be fair? The season needs to be scrapped, says Abdallah. Well, I think it probably will be. I think it probably will be. And the virus is a scam by the powers who be. So I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not buying it. Bruv, I said very similar yesterday. If you look at the actual figures compared to other things, and people keep saying to me, oh, you're so ignorant. I'm not ignorant. It's in black and white. It's fact. Facts don't lie. People on the internet do. So do people on TV, in the media. So do people in positions of power across the globe. Afternoon, it's not afternoon. I'm just going to say afternoon anyway, so just deal with it. Afternoon, Joanne. I got some big bog rolls the other day. Only because we were running out. Couldn't believe it when I went to Asda. There we go. This will go down as the worst month in the history of the Premier League. Somebody's knocking at the door. I don't know who that is. 1 second. Hello. Sorry, I don't know where the key is. You all right? Oh, I'm on the live stream, darling. Sorry, I'm busy. Yeah. Avon trying to tuck me up. Go away, man. We're busy. Jesus Christ, who do these people think they are? You know what I mean? There was no way I was opening the door, though. You can't ever, you've got to be careful. But there we go. Anyway, listen, let's read some of these comments out. If the league gets scrapped, at least we'll finish 2020 unbeaten in the Premier League. Dan says you're not mad in the chat. When a loved one passes due to this, don't forget what you've said. Bruv, people die every single day of the year, mate. Yeah, more people got run over yesterday and passed away in the UK than have died total in the UK off of the back of this virus. So listen, mate, if people die, they die. It's a natural thing that happens in life, the same as birth, mate. Yeah, you're going on like this is the worst thing ever to have spread the world. It's not. It is bad, yes, granted. One person dying from it is bad enough. 4,000, cool. That's way over the top. But you're obviously clearly listening to the same media that you put out fake news about football stories. You're now saying, oh, that same media that are reporting that, they're absolutely nailed on. Mate, I tend to have my own thoughts and opinions on things. I don't just follow what's in the media. So yeah, there's my 30 seconds for you. And like I said, the statistics on it are very misleading, because a lot of them were early stages in January, and a lot of them were over in China. But at the same time, wait 1 second, Chig. But at the same time, it is bad. Yes, I get that. But at the end of the day, every single person across the country has now got to sit there and brick it that they might get it if they leave their house. I ain't a hermit, mate. Yeah, I will carry on about my business and do what I'm doing. It's as simple as that. But anyway, let's add Chig into the chat. Morning, mate.
Morning. Hope you're well.
I'm very good, man. I just had Avon knocking at my door. Yeah.
Avon, okay.
I was like, I'm busy.
What's the wife you've been ordering, huh?
Oh yeah, man. I'm happy with the new shirt. It's the only one I didn't have. Yeah, well happy with it. And I'm sure people in the chat are going, she supplied Cronky with money. Who cares? Who cares? You just had a meeting at work. I take it you're suspended as well now.
So I'm working from home at the moment. Yeah, due to everything. I must admit, mate, I take it a little bit more seriously than you. I do. I'm not quite at panic stations. I'm not like dressing in the all onesie suit in a gas mask and going back and forth. But I think the one thing this has forced, I would hope everybody to do, is just to be a little bit more cleaner. And
this is what
clean after yourself.
In my stream the other day, I'm the cleanest person I know. Yeah, I do, mate. Trust me, I am the cleanest person I know. Yeah, and like when I was on the plane yesterday coming back from Malaga, half the plane had these masks on and all that. There was some geezer sat next to me. I was on the aisle. The geezer sat next to me, wiping snot all over his face. They're too lazy to get up and get a tissue, man. Yeah, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I thought, I'm glad I'm not sat directly next to him. Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, people rushing around Asda to get cans of soup and beans and stuff, man. It's like this is why I don't take it as seriously as you, Chig. Yeah, because maybe it's because I live in Spain. I don't know, but everything's going on normal where I live. Everyone's still going out to the restaurants. Everyone's going out for dinner. They're going to the shops. They're going to the beach. Yeah, they're all sitting out sunbathing. Everything's fine. Yeah, I come back here and it's pandemonium. And it's like, it's mad.
I think
mad.
From my perspective, I'm not at the stage where I'm buying masks and stuff. I think that's silly. But yeah, I'll be honest, I'm stocking up on the Dettol. That's for damn sure. I'm trying to clean as much as possible. And I think from my perspective, you're right to a certain degree. It is an aggressive flu, but the flu kills people too. And I think
five times more people this year have died from flu.
But I also think we need to let the thing play out before you start comparing it to influenza. So I think from my perspective, no one knows at the end of the day. Everyone's anticipating. You've got so-called experts saying it's going to get much, much worse. Obviously, you look at the Italy situation. I mean, you think we're on lockdown. They're on lockdown. All businesses have essentially closed, apart from supermarkets and essential items and stuff like that.
Belgium.
Huh?
Did you say that was in Belgium? Belgium was shut.
That was in Italy.
Oh, no, Belgium, that was in Italy. All bars, restaurants, everything, man.
Yeah, they are locked down. They're not messing around.
How many people have contracted it in Belgium? Does anybody know the figures?
I have no idea.
Because this is why. Like, listen, at the end of the day, one person dying from it's bad enough, mate. Yeah, but thousands is terrible, isn't it? Right? But like I said just before you come on, 10 people in this country have passed away from it. 10. More people got run over and got flattened by cars yesterday. Yeah. And I get that's a slightly different scenario, but it's the same thing. People do get run over every day and people do die from flu every day. I've said 237 children have passed away from flu this flu season in England alone, which is a national record. Yeah. Since flu stats began. Where's all that hype in the media? You know, why?
Here's the thing, though. I think this is where people perhaps misinterpret you, because I had a lot of people come onto my comments on my live stream and go, "Why is your boy Lee not taking it serious?" Because it just seems like whenever me and you do something separate, they just relate it back to. They always ask each other.
The comments
somebody always asks you,
399.
and vice versa. It always happens. So it's just like,
no, I've got my own mind, yeah, and I ain't just going to go, oh, yeah, look, everyone's saying stay at home. I'm going about my business, mate.
Like, bro, we are separate people. Is it really unusual that he has a strong opinion about something?
See, look, comment section, people are saying 399 people in Belgium have contracted it. Well, and you're shutting down every single bar and restaurant because 399 people out of your millions of people in that country. And this is why I find it laughable at times, yeah, the overhype of something, because, you know, 399 people. We've got 358 people watching this live. Yeah. And you've shut down every bar and restaurant in your country because 399 people have shown symptoms of something. How many people have passed away in Belgium from that out of them 399? Does anyone know? And how many of them are over 70 and had health issues? Does anyone know that? And this is what I'm saying, Jig, right? I get that they have to take safety into account. I get that football matches are going to get postponed. There's thousands of people coming into contact with each other. I get it. But at the same time.
But I will say this, to be fair, and Redload has made the point that I was about to make. To be fair, the only difference is with flu, there is a vaccine in case it gets widespread. We don't have that yet. So until we have that, you've got to be able to try and manage it and contain it as best. Of course,
but there's a vaccine, and it still kills 10 times more people every year. And so, you get a jab for that every single. You know what I'm saying? There's a jab for it, and you're still dying from it. 10 times more people.
But I think what we need to bear in mind is, those people are often very vulnerable and stuff, and whether it's through underlying illnesses or old age or whatever, or just a weak immune system, they're not able to battle it even with the vaccine. Whereas with this, we know so little about this that we don't want anyone, if possible, to get it, regardless of age. Or yes, we assume it will act in the same way as influenza, where it will affect older people and the vulnerable. But if possible, you want to try and manage that situation as much. So that's where me and you see differently. This is where I don't mind the idea that they're trying to contain it. I do agree with you in the sense that should we be losing our minds and locking ourselves in our house in onesie suits? No, I don't think I'm at that stage. But I feel like, I think to me, what this has done, pure and simple, it's made me more aware of stuff, of things I put my hands on, how I clean, what I clean, people coming into my house. In that respect, I'll be honest, it has made me more aware. And I don't necessarily
be a good thing anyway. That's only a good thing. Bjorn Rosengren in the chat says swine flu didn't get this coverage 12 years ago. I was actually speaking to a friend of mine earlier who actually had swine flu. So I was speaking to him earlier. It was actually about 10, 11 years ago, I think. That went massive. That infected 1.6 billion people, which is why when I'm looking at the figures now, and there's 134,000 infected, and the hysteria off of the back of 134,000 compared to 1.6 billion, and I went through that knocking on doors every day, 600,000 people died off of the back of swine flu. And me and my pal were still walking around knocking on doors every day. We were still going about our business. The supermarkets were still functioning. Nobody was having trolley dash. And that's why I just sit here now, 10 years later, going, countries are shutting down. Countries are actually shutting down. Yeah, and they're closing restaurants, they're closing bars. The supermarkets are rammed full of people fighting like it's Black Friday, yeah, over a tin of soup, yeah, or pasta. Where was this hysteria 10 years ago when that was massive compared to this? And that's my attitude on it. And people seem to think I'm arrogant or ignorant or something like that. No, I see that. I see all that hysteria back then. It was nowhere near the levels of this, to the point where now the Premier League shut down, all the football leagues across Europe are shut down, golfing events, every pretty much sporting event, the F1, all shutting down. Al says it. That's exactly my point. 1.6 billion were infected from swine flu, and look at the death rate. Now compare it to Corona, that's had 100,000 infected, and look at the death rate. Yeah, but the death rate is the problem, apparently. And this is the thing. Listen, one person dying is bad enough. I said that, yeah, right. But at the same time, 1.6 billion people infected, bruv. 1.6 billion. That's 1/5 of the world. There was none of this hype. I don't get it. I do get it, but I don't get it at the same time. So what I'm trying to say is, and I'm not getting my words out properly, is that I'm just going to go about my business. Yeah, and it is what it is. Yeah,
and this is the thing. I think your message is being lost in the fact that you have a very strong opinion on this that people don't agree with. I think your overall message is the correct one. You should go about your business. There isn't, to me, there's no point living in fear. So I hear Reload is very, very passionate about this, as is Al, and I hear what you guys are saying. But I think Lee's overall message is live your life. You only have one. All I'm saying is it, and this is my caveat, just please be careful. Just be a bit more aware. Just, be cleaner, people. Have a shower every now and again. Wash your hands.
Some of these people need it.
I know some of you dirty mofos are not showering. Like
you know what I mean?
So just clean your area a bit more. I think that is the overriding message. That shouldn't be lost in what I'm saying.
Look at this comment, right? Where's this comment? You can get it twice. It affects the vulnerable and old people, and when people with respiratory problems, you have to close sporting events because people. That makes no sense. But listen, the elderly,
some people
with respiratory problems seem to be the ones that are passing away from it. Yeah, somebody like Hudson-Odoi, somebody like Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta put a statement out there yesterday saying, "Look, I just want to get back in action. Yeah, I just want to be back. But obviously, when I'm allowed to come back." Hudson-Odoi, go and check it. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go to his Twitter because not all of you have seen this. So let me find his Twitter. Right, and this is what he put on his Twitter. This is somebody who's got coronavirus. That's a young, healthy guy. And let me find him. Hudson-Odoi. He's trending. Not surprised. So let's have a look at videos. Right, there we go. Right, let me stop sharing that.
While you're doing that, let me just quickly read Daniel's comment. Thank you, Daniel, for your donation. If the season gets cancelled completely, who'd get the Europa League?
No, this is what I was asking earlier. Who knows? Who knows what happens? Do you get promoted, relegated, Europa League? Who wins the Premier League? What happens? Right, listen to this.
Guidelines and self-isolating myself from everybody.
Let me go back to the beginning of it.
I hope to see everybody soon, and hopefully be back on the pitch very soon. Take care. Hi guys, as you may be aware, I had the virus for the last couple of days, which I've recovered from. I'm following the health guidelines and self-isolating myself from everybody for the week. I hope to see everybody soon, and hopefully be back on the pitch very soon. Take care. Hi guys, as you may be aware, I had the virus for the last couple of days, which I've recovered from.
And that's my point. This guy has contracted the virus. He's a young, healthy guy. He's a footballer. He's at home. He's self-isolating. He's taken the right steps. But for me, anybody now that has a sniffle, a cough, oh my God, I've got the virus. And that is the scaremongering that I was talking about on the video the other day. Because now every single person, does he look like he is about to drop dead? Genuinely. He looks like he's fine, but he's had to stay at home because of the guidelines, which is cool, and so he should do. But at the same time, yeah, he tested positive for it. He said Mikel Arteta said the same. I felt a little bit poorly, so then I got tested, and it turns out I've got it. I'm okay. I just want to get back into work when I can. Yeah. Obviously, I get it. When you're vulnerable, when you're elderly, when you've already got diabetes, cancer, stuff like that, you're gonna get more chance of dying from that. I understand, but that's the same with anything. Yeah, that's the same with flu. Yeah, and that's my point. And people seem to be missing that because they want to have a difference of opinion. Cool, I'm entitled to mine as well, isn't it? But there we go. It takes 14 days to develop full symptoms. Yeah, he didn't kind of make sense, did he? He said, I got it a few days ago and I'm fine. And I'm self-isolating for 7 days. Well, I thought it was 14 days. Yeah. Has anyone told him at Chelsea? No, bruv, it's 14 days. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a bit of a madness. I can't even lie. It's a bit of a madness, mate. It is. Call this the Dr. Lee show. No, do you know what? Listen, at the end of the day, I don't have a TV. I don't own a TV because there's never any good news in the world. Yeah, it's all negative, 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 negative. Apparently, a bit like this channel. Yeah, but at the end of the day, where's all the stories coming out saying about the 70,000 people that have got it and got over it? Yeah, where are them stories? Because I ain't seen any of them. Yeah. I ain't seen any of them. Why is that not being fed into the media about, well, look, there's over 70,000 people that have contracted symptoms of this, a strain of it, they've got it, they've recovered, and they're going about their business. Why hasn't that been put out there? Yeah, why is it, oh, Belgium are on shutdown, they're closing everything. The Premier League shut, Spain's shut, Madrid are in isolation, Hudson-Odoi is at home. Where's the good stories coming out of this instead of just feeding the negative, negative, negative about, oh my God, everyone's shook now. Why not put out some of the good stuff to balance it up a little bit and calm people down? Because everyone seems to be going mad, yeah. And I think that they should balance the argument out and balance it out to slow people down from having a mad hysteria. Because thousands upon thousands of people have had this and recovered. So why are they not telling everyone that? I don't get it. Manny, big up. Thank you.
I will say this though. Sorry, am I lagging?
No, go
on. I will say this. So as much as I cannot stand this geezer, Piers Morgan put up an interesting tweet just now saying that for some stupid reason, we are the only country not doing something in terms of restrictions. So there's no domestic lockdown, there's no travel restrictions, there's no mass gatherings, we've not cancelled all sporting events, like officially. It's on the organisation to do so, but the government's not done anything. There's no restriction on restaurants. To me, schools at a minimum should be shut down.
Why do you think we haven't done any of that? Why do you think that is?
But we're the only one that's not done anything about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why do you think that is?
Well,
what's your thought?
Listen to the PM's excuses because he's been advised by scientific people. But why are his people the only people to say that that's not advisable? I think at the minimum, say what you want about, oh, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing. All right, overreact for the kids though. Shut down the schools at the very least. I'm sure you got a daughter. I'm sure you would want to make sure, even if you think it's an overreaction, you'd want to make sure that your daughter doesn't catch anything like that. So shut down the schools, regardless of what you want to do about everything else. The schools, to me, I find that bamboozling.
Yeah, when I spoke to them yesterday, they were saying they're putting home packs together and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. So they're getting ready to shut
down. Yeah, they're getting home packs ready.
Okay, that's good.
Home packs and stuff like that. So some schools have already shut. You know, like Ireland has shut down schools for 6 weeks. Other places have shut them for 6 weeks. So they are putting home packs together. But at the same time, you know, there must be a reason as to why this country is the last country to shut and lock off stuff. And all these other countries. I mean, Italy, for example, Belgium, Madrid in Spain is pretty much shut. Yeah, it's pretty much shut. Yeah. So, Joshua says they couldn't give a toss. I disagree. As long as they're all making money. Well, they're not making money if everything's shut. I get that. But at the same time, they're not making money from trade from other countries if their countries are shut either, are they?
Mm. And with regards to people saying that it's slowing down in China, I would take that with a pinch of salt.
You know what I mean? Mate, 90% of the cases are in that country.
Yeah, I'll take that.
90% of the deaths are in that country as well, by the way.
They have a habit of managing bad news. So I think let's put it like that, because I don't get sued out here. Managing bad news, I think, is the best way of putting it.
And yeah, I think. Listen, at the end of the day, yeah. Look, I've just googled it because Matey Boy's still going on in my chat, right? And I understand people have got different views on this and they're passionate about it, right? I've just googled.
They are very passionate about it.
Right, listen, at the end of the day, people don't need to get so triggered. It is my opinion. I'm not sitting there getting triggered because you want to lock your door and stay in all day, because I couldn't care less. But I'm just looking. The country I live in, Spain, yeah, Spain, there has been 90 deaths. 90. That is 9 times more deaths in Spain than where I am now. Yeah, but guess what? Spain are not going on like it's a madness. Yeah, not where I live anyway. Everyone's going about their business. I have not seen one person where I live, and where I live is a busy area, by the way. Yeah, I have not seen one person with a face mask on. Not one. Yeah, I've seen people walking around the restaurants. I've seen walking down the beach. I was on the beach. You see my Insta live the other day. Yeah, the restaurants are going about their business. Everything's going fine. 9 times more people have died in Spain than they have here. And Spain is not going mental about it. Yes, I know that Spain have cancelled football matches. Yes, I know that they've Madrid is kind of on a lockdown, but not to the levels of this country where people are going in supermarkets punching each other up for a bog roll. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And that's the thing with the British people, isn't it? The British people love an overhype of something. Yeah, they love to over dramatize stuff. I'm not saying it's not to be dramatized, because of course it's tragic what's happening. But then when you compare that to a country I live in, and I see how the people are doing it in that country, I then come back here and see the drama here. Yeah, then you look at the figures from the amount of cases in Spain, the amount of cases in England, and you're like, oh, hang on, surely this should be happening where I live, and the other way around.
There are three comments I want to read, because I think all of them, well, 2 of them are donations, and I think there's an additional one which I think is pretty worthy of your opinion.
Yeah, go on.
Ursel is a disease, pass it on, stay at home for a fortnight. I only read that because you donated, but I don't approve.
Mohammed, naughty.
Mr. Gomez, the power of the greatest country ever, the British, and are the only folks allowed in the United States as Europeans now. Amazing. Yeah, that's because we got that. That's because Boris and Trump are like that. So even in crisis, there will always be political games. And South London's finest is the comment I really wanted to read, and that is Chiggly. I work in a primary school, and the amount of old parents and grandparents that pick up their kids are high. Yes, it doesn't affect kids now, but the virus could evolve, and that is an excellent. That's why I would shut it down. Apart from anything,
I do think that. I do think that will.
Are a breeding ground for germs.
Yep.
A breeding ground. You want to shut that down immediately, especially with kids passing kids other disgusting germs. You don't want that. You just want to shut down those schools and minimize that risk, at least from a young. Kids are still vulnerable. People forget just because they're young. Just because they're young doesn't mean that they're any less vulnerable. They're vulnerable. So and it affects the vulnerable, this disease. I'd shut the schools down immediately. I mean, the first thing I do.
Yeah, that was a good question, good comment, by the way. And thank you to both of you for your donations as well. No, that was a good comment. And do you know what the mad thing is like, when I go and pick the little one up from school and stuff like that, there is elderly people that pick them up. And you're right about the germs, bro. Yeah, kids are not the cleanest, are
bro. I've gotten ill from many and many a kid, so trust me, I know. From my nieces and nephews, it's a long time. It is a long time.
Yeah, it's mad. John says my wife looks like shit with. I think you mean shit with colds, and I kissed her today. Stay safe, mate. Stay safe.
Power to you. You might want to get tested.
Still can't send a donation. I don't get why that is, mate. I don't know. God knows. You're not blocked. I can see your comment, mate. Hope you're well anyway. Hope you're good. You two are the goats. Thank you. Thank you. Joe, the thing is, me and Chig have been arguing about this, like offline as well. Yeah, we're not arguing, but debating. Yeah. Because, you know, listen, Chig, you live in London, mate. Yeah, so you've got the underground. That's a health hazard in itself.
Oh,
yeah. On a normal day, without any of this, yeah, that is just germ central, mate. Yeah, and then obviously you can get on the other public transport in London, which is busy. It's a busy place. I get that. I live in a completely different country where everything's a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more slowed down, and a little bit like, wow, yeah, cool. Let's just carry on. And like I said, I've come back here, and it's like the amount of cases and deaths in Spain. It's like the hysteria here should be there. Yeah, it should be, because it's 9 times more people have died in Spain than they have here. Yeah. And it's not. It's just so relaxed over there. I mean, even when I was at the airport, yes, there's people walking around with masks on their face at the airport in Malaga yesterday. Yeah, but you know, you weren't getting extra checks. You weren't getting. I mean, the woman said to me, she goes, "Where?" Before I was getting on the plane, some woman come up to me and she went, "Where do you live?" I said, "Who the fuck are you?" Yeah, and she went, "Oh, I'm working for so." I said, "Well, why are you asking me where I live?" She goes, "Oh, we're just doing this and this." I was like, "No. You don't need to know nothing about me. I don't know who you are, and you're asking me random questions about where I live and what's my name." Yeah, I said, "Show me some form of ID of who you actually represent, yeah, and I'll answer your questions." So she showed me. I went, "Cool, I live in Spain." She went, "Oh, I don't apply to you then." I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Yeah. Like, just randomly going down the queue while you're about to board a plane, going, "Where do you live and what's your name?" No, who the fuck are you? Like, so I mean,
what about the wife? She gone to work?
Yeah, she's at work. She works in a dentist.
Oh, is it? Oh, private.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
This is the thing. I could sit here going, "No, don't go work." Yeah, don't go work. And by the way, 2 patients that she see the other day, yeah, had just come back from China and Hong Kong. Yeah, and they didn't tell her that. This was beginning of last week. Yeah, they didn't tell her that until they'd walked out of the treatment room. Yeah. So
she got tested.
There's an old girl that works with her. Yeah, the woman's been there 50 years at this dentist. Yeah, she works on reception. Bless her. Right, she's 70 years old. Yeah, they refused to give her the test because she didn't meet the criteria for the test, because she hadn't been in contact directly with somebody who'd been to Italy or China. Yeah, although she's got a stinking cold. Yeah. They're saying
no.
But they can't test her because she's not directly meeting the criteria.
Lee's about to get this thing, guys. Pray for it. Pray for it.
I can sit here and eat a lamb fowl quite comfortably, bruv. I ain't no way, bruv. I'm sweet.
Pray for it, because you pick up colds easy as well. You pick him up easy.
No. I never used to. I never used to get a cold if I'm.
Bro, since I've known you've had at least 7 or 8 colds.
Yeah. No, since I've moved to Spain. Yeah, every month. Right. But I wouldn't say it's a cold. It's more of a runny nose, just constantly. Yeah, but I'm sweet, bruv. And this is the thing, yeah. Her dentist, like where she works, she's directly with the patients. Yeah, she's a dental nurse. Yeah, she's with the patients. She has the mask on. I said, "Get me a mask." I said, "Get me and my sister a mask." Yeah, so she's going to get me and my sister a mask. My sister actually wants one, but I said, "I'll get a couple." I said, give some to the kids or whatever, innit? But yeah, she could go today and say, "Well, actually, no, I don't want to come to work. I think I need to self-isolate." Yeah, and stuff like that. I was in contact with this person the other week and blah, blah, blah. She ain't done that. Yeah, she ain't done that. She's a little bit more worried about it than I am. Yeah, I wouldn't say we've had rows about it, but we get very rah, yeah, because she's like, no, it's this, and I'm like, no, it's this, yeah, and but yeah, it's she could quite easily come back tonight and say, well, actually, no, we've all got to have 2 weeks off, yeah. Does that mean I have to then self-isolate? If you're self-isolating, what happens if you ain't got enough food in your house? No, genuine question.
Well, that's what I guess that's what Uber Eats is for.
Are they allowed to deliver, or what if they've got it? You know?
It's funny you should say that. So I had a text from delivery the other day. I was like, "Blimey, do I order that much from delivery?" Right? And they were like, "Listen, to battle the coronavirus, if you order anything, what we'll do is that you have an option for a drop-off option where you don't have to actually have contact with a delivery driver. They literally just drop it at your door."
Are they actually allowed to deliver? Because it's a bit of a random one, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I can imagine they're having a lot of conversations about that because you don't really have to have contact with people, especially people that are potentially got the illness and are self-isolated. You would think that would be their main customer. So
So this is the thing, like Domino's as well. Domino's, other takeaway places. See, like companies like McDonald's and Pizza Hut and places like that, they will never go out of business in crises like this. Yeah, it's the little businesses, and this is what I was saying earlier, just before you jumped on. What about the guy who's flipping burgers outside the football stadium on a match day? Yeah, what if that's his only source of income? Yeah, right. What's he going to do? Well, I need to get this lighting sorted while I'm walking around making a coffee. What's he going to do? Yeah, you know, and people don't think of the implications of this, man. It's like, you know, the amount of money this is going to lose this country if businesses go out of business right now. Yeah, and it's not so much the big businesses, it's the little businesses. Plus, add into the fact, that the Premier League have given up their TV rights to Sky Sports and BT Sport. Yeah, well, BT Sport and Sky Sports, can they say, well, hang on, you ain't fulfilled the fixtures. We've given you the money for it. Yeah, is there a lawsuit there? You know, then you've got the Champions League, and Europa League. Obviously, they've got the rights for that. Why can't I open the sugar? Jesus Christ. Yeah, they've got the rights for that as well. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't get it. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits going on in the next couple of months. That's for sure.
Agreed.
There's going to be a lot of lawsuits, and there's going to be a lot of people out of pocket, and a lot of people going bust because this is going to cost a lot of money to a lot of people. But there we go. What's your plans for the rest of the day, Chick?
Me, in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna head back to work because I've got to finish something for my manager.
You're actually working, going.
Yeah, bro, I'm legitimately doing work. I'm gonna lie, I get stuff done. I like working from home because I get stuff done. So,
it's easy, isn't it? I like working.
Yeah, you don't have so many people like coming into the office just pestering you about BS. So
that's not only that. You can jump on stream and do stuff like this.
To give my quick instant reaction and then go back to work.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's mad. It's crazy. Let me read some more of these comments out and I'll let you get back to work then.
No worries.
The thing is, the masks that people are wearing, the masks were made in China. Hey, do you know what? Right? South London's finest. Big up yourself. The masks these people are wearing, they don't even know what mask they're supposed to be wearing. Yeah,
apparently, every expert I've seen talk about this so far says those surgery masks don't do much.
Exactly.
They don't do much. Yeah. There is a specialist mask, but that costs a bit dough. That's why you see people wear them surgery masks.
The ones that people are wearing, that ain't going to do nothing. That is not going to do nothing, right? The one you need is, I can't remember the name of the mask. It's got its letters and then it's got numbers after it, The one you need is a 3.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a 2.0 or a 2.5 or a 1.5. It is a 3.0. If you want one of them, you're talking a bit of dough. Yeah. So all these people that are walking around with just a normal mask that a doctor would wear, that's doing nothing to you. That ain't helping you a bit.
Yeah, and obviously, if you go on the tube, damn near everyone's wearing those things now. Everyone's wearing them. So
have a look on Sky News regarding Spain. Hey, as long as I can get back to Malaga next Thursday, I couldn't care less, mate, to be fair. Genuinely, but thank you. I will actually have a look. Let me read a few more of these out. A guy in the US at Costa filled his trolley with condoms instead of bog roll. Priorities for self-isolation.
Look at Mohammed's comment. Welcome to Transfer Daily. New show idea about who has the virus, boys. Now that there's no football. Transfer Daily. Transfer viruses, I assume. Oh dear.
So this is another thing. The comment above that from Roy DeBoy says Bitcoin's dropped to 4K. Do you know what? If you've got a few quid, yeah, genuinely, if you've got a few quid, you wait till this gets to rock bottom and then you go and plow all your money into stocks and shares.
Yep.
Yeah, because as soon as that gets on that wave, baby, you're going to become a millionaire real quick.
Funny enough, Saya in the chat room asked that same question, like, do we know about stocks and shares and do we have any tips? I wish I had tips. I'd be tipping myself, but yeah, I say why not push your money into that,
It's when to
especially
do it.
while the shares are low.
It's when to do it. Oh, that's the problem.
I think any time in the next few weeks, it's only going to get lower and lower and lower. The shares.
Just leave them.
Pick it up.
Buy them. Leave them. Sit on them. If you can afford to put money into that, buy them. Just leave them. Yeah. And then when it goes up and up and up and up in whatever it may take to get to that, then you go, hey.
over the next year.
Profiting off of like losses and stuff like that. Is that
Georgie wants
us to do that?
Georgie wants us to do an EastEnders watch along tonight.
Oh, we actually could, you know.
we could because the wifey loves EastEnders, so she'll contribute to that.
Yeah, shall we? EastEnders watch along. Big up Cheryl. Big up Carol. I don't know if she's in the chat. Carol gave me a good idea. Carol gave me a good idea. Yeah, she said rather than doing it and calling it a watch along, why don't you call it a chat along? Because you're chatting along. I thought that was a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that as well. I like that. Yeah. I like that. I'll tell you what, if we actually did
profiting off Corona,
would it surprise you? Because we tend to be trendsetters out here. Would it surprise you if you start seeing other people doing it?
Well, there's a certain two letters I'm blocking from this chat as we speak.
Oh, of course.
I'm doing that right now. I forgot to do it yesterday, so I'm going to do that now.
You said this chat along, or miraculously, you'll start seeing people do the exact same thing.
At the end of the day, that's pretty much what it is. It's a chat along because you're sitting there, you're watching the game, and you're chatting along to people. I thought that was a sick idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do I do this? Community.
Yes, because Leroy just got one last one out before the phrase is blocked.
Yeah, that's getting blocked in a minute. So's that. Oh, look at that. 0 of 3 community guideline strikes. 0 of 3 copyright strikes. Clean channel, baby.
Yes, I have that as well.
Community settings. Here we go.
He'd only be a silly guy that gets himself struck by doing a watch along.
Hey mate, imagine getting copywritten though. Seriously, like that's why I never turn the volume up. That's why when people say to me, no, you show me the screen. No.
Show me the screen.
Why would I show you the screen? I ain't getting
dumb. What, you're not going to show the game? You know, funny enough, no, I'm not going to watch the game. So maybe you are right. Maybe calling it a chat along is the more appropriate description.
Yeah, because it's not.
They're not watching anything other than us.
Do you know what? I think I'm going to change it. I think I will do that. Do you know what? I don't even know where I do this. How do I upload defaults now in there? I don't know. Anyway, listen, I'm waffling. Let's wrap this up. Let's read a few more comments and we'll go. My teacher diagnosed with it now, says Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't think it's the real one. The Football Channel HD says I do audio commentary.
Oh, apparently there's no EastEnders because of sports relief.
Hey, there is football this weekend though. The Scottish League's on.
Really? Scotland are breeding ground for this flu. I'm surprised.
Yeah, they're banning it as a Monday. The league's done as a Monday. Let's have a look at the Scottish League fixtures. We might actually do a Scottish League. Hey, come on, you know me, bro. I ain't ramping. Yeah, Scottish League.
Rago, let's do it.
Let's have a look. Motherwell against Aberdeen tonight. Big old game tonight. Motherwell Aberdeen tonight.
Maybe there's an Australian game somewhere.
I'm sure there'll be some games on.
Georgie says that Scotland have cancelled the football.
We're done. We're sorted. Old Firm derby on Sunday. Bye!
Oh, is it? Okay, I'm up for that if it's
on Sunday.
Rangers Celtic. Okay.
Yeah,
Why not? Let's do it.
Kick off Sunday. We're in, baby.
Will you be in Spain by then?
No, I'm here till next Thursday.
Oh, yeah. You're there till next Thursday. Okay.
I'm here till Monday. Then I'm getting a train to Milton Keynes. Then I'm at my sister's for a bit with the little one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like when you do one to your sister because she just ad-libs comments. She just ad-libs
what my sister's got in the background is sick. The amount of people that like that clock is unbelievable. Suspended all domestic and Premier League grassroots until further notice. The Scottish FA. Oh, you're having a laugh.
I told you. Of course.
They actually you're winding me up. No, bro, I literally just loaded it up. It ain't even updated. Look, it still says going ahead. No postponements, nothing. There you go. I've just jinxed that one now, haven't I? Right. What else can we? What else can we get called off? Is there anything else? What should we get called off next? The social media is going to get shut down because technically it's a virus. DJ Craig, jokes. Chat along crew, wave your hands. Yeah, we're changing that. It's chat along. It's not watch along.
Yeah, you lot are definitely the chat along squad, chat along crew.
Yep. It's not a watch along. You're right. Carol was bang on. Big up Carol. I'll give her props on that. Big up my boy Conor McGlash. Come on, baby. But yeah, Bundesliga, is that shut down yet? Let's have a look at Bundesliga.
Guys, for those of you wondering, I will also be doing a video on this a bit later on this afternoon once I've actually finished my first job. So I'll be back on to do a reaction. It won't be long because obviously you've heard a lot of my thoughts in this. So it'll be a quick 15, 20-minute thought process. I'll also talk about other bits and bobs, so like transfer stories that I put up over the last couple of days on my posts. So the best way to do that, my link is in the description, I'm hoping. Please do go subscribe to Guna Eagle Eye. It is in the description below. And you'll see it. Hopefully that'll be one video that doesn't get yellow flagged.
All right, here we go. Listen to this. Bayern midfielder Thiago Alcantara slams German football chiefs for letting the Bundesliga games go ahead this weekend. There we go. Bundesliga it is tomorrow.
Okay. What's the biggest game on the Bundesliga?
Dortmund Schalke.
Okay. I can watch Dortmund.
That'll be that one. Let's see what time that is. Yeah, Dortmund Schalke tomorrow. Bundesliga. You watch that get called off now. 2:30. 2:30.
Yeah. So YME just basically said that the Bundesliga is on lockdown after this weekend.
There you go.
But this weekend it's still on.
There you go. What other games are there? Yeah, Leipzig are playing Freiburg. Don't fancy that really.
Thank you, Total Hit. I appreciate the subscribe. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we do. Bayern Munich are playing Berlin. No. We'll go with. We could actually do that game straight afterwards. What I was saying. Let me speak to the missus. We could do Dortmund versus Schalke at 2:30 tomorrow, and then we could do Berlin versus Bayern straight after. That starts at 5:30. Let me speak to the missus and clarify.
Me too, yeah.
There you go. Manny's come up with another one. Darts watch along. Come on, we got it sorted. Sydney FC versus Perth Glory, baby.
We could do a darts watch along. That would be really good.
He ain't stopping because of some virus.
Let's do a dart. Hey, we're giving people ideas here. What's going on? Like, we're giving other YouTubers ideas. We're trendsetters.
Their own, bruv. That's why they have to keep copying mine.
We're trendsetters. All of a sudden, you're going to start seeing people do a darts watch along.
Look at Jay giving it these whips. I'm not whipped, you joker. I'm not.
No, listen. If you have a girl, everybody knows.
Wait, I am whipped.
Problems. No, plus, I want to keep my girl happy. You know what date it is tomorrow? You know what day it is tomorrow. You want to keep your girl happy.
I know what day it is tomorrow. Come on. I've ordered that steak. We've got a 45-day age steak coming tomorrow, baby. What was I going to say? No, listen, I'm here till Monday, and she's at work tonight as well because she does a little part-time one in the pub.
Oh, okay.
On a Friday night as well. So yeah, I'm only going to see her tomorrow and Sunday. So tomorrow I don't really fancy sitting around doing 16 hours worth of YouTube. So, but medium rare, mofos.
JB knows. JB knows. There's a lot of kids there that don't quite know what day it is tomorrow, but JB knows.
No, it's cool,
JB knows.
I'm going to Mohammed Abbas, big up yourself, bruv. Real one. Liverpool fan as well. It's a good lad, and I hope you and the missus well. Why are you always so pessimistic? Have you not seen this big smile on my face about how happy I am and about how great everything is and about how wonderful life is? So stop sitting at home shitting your pants. Did you miss all of that for the last hour and 5 minutes? Yeah, about pessimistic. Grow up. Yeah, you're the one sitting there going, oh my God, I better get down the supermarket and get the fucking pasta before the shelves are empty. Yeah? Seriously, mate. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I only have about 15 cigarettes over there because I forgot to fucking bring fags with me. Yeah? I've got 200 fags sat at home. I forgot to bring them with me. Yeah? Do I go out and get any? Yeah? Do you know what I mean? Oh no. Does anybody deliver them? Fucking turn it in. But there we go. But listen, we can do loads of stuff, man. Listen, I've been live streaming twice a day.
I like the darts idea. I must admit, I do like the darts idea.
Twice a day, every day. I've done live streams for over a year. Yeah, twice a day, every single day. Yeah, every single day. So I'm sure we'll find some ideas. And listen, that is the biggest derby in Germany as well. So we'll be doing that. So yeah, if you see anyone else coming up with that idea,
yeah, you know where it came from. You know where it came from. So give them hell. Guys, I literally need to bounce. I need to go back to work. But
no, cool. I'm out of it, man. Thank you to over 400 people still watching this live. Do subscribe. I'll be back later at 5 o'clock. I'll be doing a 9 o'clock stream as well.
Loads of people saying we should do a darts watch along. I'm just putting it out there. I ain't trying to sway you. Just putting it out there.
I don't even know. I don't even know if she's got Sky Sports there, to be fair. I know they've got Sky Sports News. I know they've got BT Sport, but I don't know. We'll see. But listen, yeah, worst ways, tomorrow, 2:30, well, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll do a build-up to it. We'll be doing the biggest derby in Germany, which is Dortmund versus Schalke, which we kind of like to see Haaland, proper winger as well, in Jadon Sancho. So, yeah, that'd be cool. So we'll have a wonderful day. And thank you for all the love in the chat. Laters, peeps.
Ah.